And I want to remind you that these laws that you reference in this letter are your laws. You were a member of
the city laws.
petitioners.
It's the laws of the city.
They were laws that you distributed through the streets on a clipboard, getting signatures in order to put them on the ballot.
Yes.
They were then brought to the city council's attention once the city clerk's office had certified that you had the proper number of signatures in the proper amount of time, right?
Absolutely.
These laws were laws that you either drafted or circulated through town in order to get signatures on, right? So you have a familiarity
as I stated
with
earlier,
these laws.
yes.
Is that
Pardon?
right?
Yes, as I stated
with
earlier.
these laws.
You're familiar with the law?
Are you familiar
Yes,
with these
yes.
laws
Yes,
that
I
you
have them right
circulated
here.
through the streets?
I have them right here.
Okay, that's good. Your paragraph about Privet and Crivet here, to the extent that they donated $500 to any one candidate, or two candidates that you mentioned here, those would appear to be excess contributions. And my understanding of that law is there is a cure provision for excess contributions to be returned within a certain amount of time after an election date. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes,
Has that
30
date
days.
passed yet?
Pardon?
Has that date passed yet?
30 days from the election.
Has that date passed yet? Today?
No.
No, I believe it's Thursday.
Okay.
All right.
June 1st, it's dated.
Just to clarify, that's the remedy.
So it's a
that's
potential.
the-
It's a potential violation.
That's the remedy once a violation is
Well, you got to go.
It's a
identified.
cure. It's a cure for an excess contribution,
Yes.
right? Okay. So, and what is the contribution limit? Is it?
It says, if I may read to you, it says, a recipient of a contract for professional services or extraordinary unspecified
amount,
services
just the dollar amount.
may cure a violation of Section 1 of this ordinance if within 30 days after the general election, which follows the date of the contribution, the contract recipient notifies the municipality in writing and seeks and receives reimbursement of the contribution from the recipient of
Mr.
such
Castiglione,
excess
let me just stop you
contribution.
there. I'm going to concede for purposes of our discussion tonight that Crivet and Crivet falls within the ambit of that law. Okay? What's
Okay.
the contribution limit that Crivet and Crivet can give under the law?
Privet and Crivet currently has a contract with the City of Hoboken, so the
Conceding
limit,
that the law applies to them, Mr.
so the limit is 0.
No, 500?
You're frightening me. You're frightening me.
500.
I think
These
you
are
mistake-
your laws. These are your
I
laws.
think Mr. Cammarano has...
Please.
Mr.
give me a minute.
Camarano, let him
Give me a minute.
continue.
But
Let
the
Mr.
limit-
Camarano continue on this because, things are happening here. Yeah. Yeah, things are happening here. We got somebody making allegations, and now he's being refuted.
And sometimes they don't make allegations
Yeah.
when it
And
happens.
sometimes you're bringing out certain things, and you're not bringing out other things.
Point of order. Council President.
So here we go, James.
Council President.
So, if I may
What is
respond,
the dollar limit on a contribution from this professional service contract?
Section 1, paragraph B says that no business entity who submits a proposal for, enters into negotiations for, or agrees to any contract or agreement with the City of Hoboken or any of its departments or instrumentalities and so on, shall knowingly solicit or make any contribution.
That is the developer portion of the...
So that's the public contracting reform ordinance that I'm reading from. There's very similar language in the redeveloper one. You're correct.
Right. That's the 2007 ordinance.
Yes.
That's correct. That's the one that was passed
When do you...
4 months ago, in February.
And are you aware of when the Crivet and Crivet contract was awarded?
It was awarded in July 2006 and runs until July of 2007, so it's currently in effect.
Okay. So could I don't want to even make it a question because we're running around in circles here, but just so that you know, Mr. Castiglione, no law, whether it's a local ordinance, a county ordinance, a state statute, a federal statute, can apply retroactively. So if that contract was awarded prior to the enactment of that ordinance, it has no effect on that contractor for purposes of that contract. Okay, that's number one.
Well, if there's some question about that, perhaps that's something for the corporate counsel to look into, but I have to say that's not my reading of the
I will
language.
defer to his judgment, but I can tell you that there's no such thing as a law that can apply retroactively. It's not the case. Secondly, I don't want to ask questions about what if someone did this, what if somebody did that. Again, I'm going to speak very directly to you. This paragraph 2 regarding the redeveloper pay-to-play, you bring up a contribution by Michael Barry of $4,600. You say in the next breath that you've looked at everyone's ELEC reports that was a candidate in the May 8th municipal election, right? You looked at all of their ELEC reports.
The ones that were filed back in May, yes.
Okay. Are you aware, based on your investigation, that another designated redeveloper, besides Mr. Barry, fully financed 2 council candidacy campaigns? Are you aware of that? And if you're aware of it, why is it not in this letter? Why are you pointing out $4,600 and not the tens or hundreds of thousands in contributions that are equally a violation if your interpretation of that law is to be believed? Where are they in this letter?
Our investigation of the reports, the ELEC filings that were reported in our findings are based on the ELEC reports that are online.
I heard you. You read all the ELEC reports.
Yes.
Are you aware, based on, excuse me, are you aware, based on your investigation, which I'm sure was thorough, of all these ELEC reports, that a redeveloper in the city of Hoboken, a designated redeveloper, completely financed 2 council candidates' campaigns? Are you aware of that?
If you were not, you're aware of it now.
I will go back and relook at the ELEC reports and see
Good
if
idea.
we missed something.
Good idea.
And if that's the case,
Very good idea.
if that's the case,
Mr.
we will
Castiglione,
refile
Very good idea.
down.
we will amend the letter, but
Mr. Castiglione, I want to leave you with this. I just want to leave you with this. I don't want
Let's
to
wrap
belabor
it
the
up.
point. I want to get home to
Your baby.
to my wife and my baby. But it is conspicuously absent in this letter, what I just described to you. It's
Thank you.
conspicuously absent.
Thank you.
And frankly, it draws not only your own credibility into question for signing this,
What they believe in.
you draw into question the credibility and the entire purpose of the People for Open Government. What is the People for Open Government if they're going to split hairs as to which candidate violated, which didn't, on what
we
and
haven't
what
split
scales?
hairs. We looked at all candidates. We looked at candidates that won. We looked at candidates that lost. We looked at candidates that are in runoffs and those that are not. And we listed every single violation.
Okay.
We weren't picking anyone out.
Very well.
And the last point I will make is that the public contracting reform ordinance that you mentioned previously, the one that passed in 2007, is an update of another one that was passed by referendum.
Right.
And the clause that you're referring to does exist in the previous ordinance. So the issue about being grandfathered in
The previous
is
ordinance,
is taken care of by the previously existing ordinance.
this ordinance has a dollar limitation on contributions. The dollar limitation in the previous ordinance is not 0.
Correct.
Okay?
It's not 0.
All right?
How much, is anybody aware of what that dollar limit is in the previous ordinance?
We'd love to hear from you, Eric.
Okay. All right, James.
Hear from you.
Okay, let's conclude, all right?
Matters of fraud.
Thank you.
All of this is fraud.
This ends the public portion.
All of this is